Do you know what pension plan you are on with your employer? There are two main kinds of pension plan. One is called defined benefit plan. The other is called defined contribution plan. So today we are going to talk about defined benefit plan, pension plan. Just let me know in the comment section below if your company provide this kind of pension. So defined benefit pension is the very traditional one. That's the one mostly our parents are having, which is that when you were working, you pay into it, and when you are retired based on your years of service and your income, it's a defined amount at retirement. Say if you will get 5,000 a month, it will be 5,000 no matter what. And so this plan is very popular before. It started after the Second World War, and companies provide this pension plan because back then people will work until 60 and then their life expectancy will last until like 65. Maybe the company will pay for 2, 3, 4, 5 years into this pension plan, and that's it. But now, because we all live way longer, and so most of the people will live until their 80s, so this kind of pension plan is getting less and less because there's so many decades that the company has to pay into. So how much will you get if you are on this pension plan? So every company is different, but in general, there is calculation that you can roughly know how much you will get. Usually, it looks like this. It's about 2% of your average yearly pensionable earning during the highest of 5 years. And this number times by 2% and times the years that you are in service. So for example, if your salary is 100,000 and 100,000 is all yearly pensionable earning, just for example, and then so 2% of that times, say, if you worked for 30 years for the same employer, and then so 2% times 100,000 times 30 years is $60,000 per year. So that's roughly the pension you will get in a yearly amount. Of course, it's paid either monthly or any way that is. So this is, like I said, this is the most common ones people know about, but it is not common for, it's not popular for people like you and me at this age to be on a defined benefit pension plan, just because the obligation on the employer is so high and lots of employers decided not to do that. So most likely, if you are still in, say, public service, if you work for the government and you are still be able to go on this kind of plan. And also for like in Alberta, so when we talk about most popular will be like LAPP, which is local authorities pension plan. So lots of city employees or health workers with Alberta Health Services, they are on this plan. And also before, if you know Sears, and Sears was bankrupted, but they had a pension plan. There's so much dispute there. Is the whole reason is that they cannot afford to pay for the retiree for the defined benefit, because it doesn't matter how the market is doing, how the management of the fund is doing, you have to come up with the amount as we just calculated. So we would just call it a DB plan, defined benefit, because it's mouthful. And so what are the benefits of it? And well, it's so easy to plan. You already know how much you will get if you keep working in the rate you are doing. So it's very, very predictable. And so when you and you don't ever have to worry about running out of money before you die, because it's for life. And for this plan, usually the retirement date is flexible too. Depends on how many years you are in the service. If you started young and early, and possibly you can start retirement in age 55, maybe with a reduced pension. It really depends on your personal situation, but there are people who are willing to take the reduced pension, so to retire early so that they can have those time for themselves, because if you're working in government jobs, it's more than likely that you work, like, there's many years of service, and there are people who want to go travel and do other things when they're young, and this is a perfect way for them. You can do that. Another benefit for a DB plan is that you kind of can, it's a flexible payout. You kind of you can kind of play around with it and integrate it with your CPP or OAS, and to maximize your tax benefit. So this takes a bit of planning, but it's possible. And really, it's personal, like individual cases. My suggestion is really talk to a professional. You might have someone at work you can talk to. You might have a financial advisor you can talk to. They will help you to find the best way to take this pension, like when you are close to the age. So plan ahead and just don't wait until last minute. There's option that you can choose if you want all of the pension for yourself, or you want to do a percentage for yourself, but after you die, and then there is a certain percentage can keep paying for the survivor a beneficiary that you like, most like your spouse. So it really depends on your personal, like, health situation, your financial situation, and your marriage relationship. So all of these will come into play when you decide how you want to take this pension. And another really good one for the defined benefit plan is that, let's say for today's dollar, you will get a 60,000 per year, but with the inflation, that will factor into your benefit. So it won't stay the same amount every year. If the cost of living goes up, your pension amount goes up as well. So which is a huge relief for seniors, because inflation is really a killer for retirement, because your income is very set, right? It's hard to get more than it's planned. So another benefit of DB plan is that there is a chance you can do income splitting, which will help you to have some tax advantages. So after age 55, and you can split your pensionable income with your spouse or common law partner, and depends on so really, if you need to do this or not, really depends on your situation, like I just said. And so the last point I want to say about the benefits is that, you know what, you don't have to worry about anything like the market performance, if there's a volatility in the market, because you're defined, so your income is set, it's defined. It doesn't matter how the market is going, and you will get amount you are promised. So the risk is on the employer's side, not on your side. Although there are many cases, if the like say earlier when we said about the Sears case, the company bankrupt, there is no way that they can provide. And yeah, it is that's kind of the risk, right? And also some governments, like government of Florida, they are going through that too because they had really big hit in 2008. They still haven't recovered, but they're short in funding for all of these retirees that in the pension plan. So there is a potential risk there, but overall, unless it's to these extreme situations, your income is very set and safe, and then you know how much you will get. So when there is advantages, there's also always disadvantages. Well, first of all, you might have to work longer than you have to because you are calculating those years, and then you have to, if you want to get a full pension, you have to work until certain time to be able to retire. And that's why we call it the golden cuff, because you really will think about these things, and then even that you don't like your job, a lot of times you will go like, yeah, I'll keep doing it because I am so many years away and I want to get my full pension. And another disadvantage is that you have no control over this pension. All of the money, so the contribution will, the company, the employer will manage it. And because there are market risk and they have to make sure they pay you the certain amount, so the management fee can be a lot higher than just regular like personal investments. And you don't get to choose which one to invest. So basically just contribute and someone else will take over. And like I said earlier, if the fund is mismanaged or they take a hit, if the company is going bankrupt, it will still come back to you. While like I said earlier, DB plan can be indexed, but sometimes it might not be. It really depends on your employer. If it's not indexed to the inflation, the cost of living, and then your set amount can be lower and lower if the inflation is going higher. So that can be a risk as well. And another disadvantage will be that it's actually tied to the one it's managed, company managed fund, so you don't get a control over what you invest. So the last disadvantage is that because it's a one fund, so it's like pooled with other people in the company, when you have to move jobs, it might be more complicated than just a regular, like your own investments. And there will be restrictions here and there, and that can be so it probably hard to commute into your own retirement savings plan when you leave. So that's something might be can be a downside of defined benefit plan. So do you think your company is offering you this plan? If it is, and what kind of the details in there can help you plan for your retirement better? And you can go through those brochures. They must have some kind of brochures tell you how it works. And I hope this video helps you to understand a little bit more about your pension, because this is very important for your retirement life. So just spend some time and read through them. If you have questions, feel free to comment below or talk to me personally. My information is somewhere around here. Okay, hope you have a great day, great life, and I will see you next time.